Welcome to Fabulous Feasts, Episode 3, Holiday Eating in a Healthy Way. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio. Thanks for tuning in for this series of Fabulous Feasts. Today it's going to be about protein. But what is Fabulous Feasts all about? Fabulous Feasts is all about eating foods that are healthy for you, foods that will reduce inflammation in your body because inflammation drives disease, and to help you think about pairing foods together that you may not already thought to do. Foods that are going to give you a different flavor palette that will help, again, to improve your health if you've lost it, to help maintain your health if you have it, and more importantly, to keep you in an anti-inflammatory state. Hippocrates, the one who said it, let food be thy medicine, let medicine be thy food. That's what Fabulous Feast is all about. First episode today was on smoothies for detoxification and cleansing and for proteins stabilizing your blood sugar levels. The second show is about sweet treats and the importance of embracing the bitter. And we talked also about different types of sugar substitutes. But today it's protein. As you saw in the thumbnail, winner, winner, chicken dinner. We're going to take a twist on a taco using chicken, but we're not going to be using just these for the taco. We're going to show you how you can overload your body with those vegetables that'll give you that extra punch because it's all about the vegetables. But we are going to have protein. It's dinner time. So we're going to warm up our skillet first. And in this skillet, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're using breast meat chicken. And number two, it doesn't have fat, so we need a little bit of fat. Number three, we want to create that glaze. Using olive oil is a good oil. Can I use coconut oil? Yes, slightly different flavor, but it's a good oil to cook with as well. You can also use walnut oil or any other nut oil, another good oil. While that's heating up, my staff needs to remind me to remind you that this month, for the gift of health, we have 15% off all of our supplements, supports, and appliances. So call us for your holiday Give the Gift of Health sale. So as that's heating up a little bit, I'm going to take our chicken.
We have a question. What about avocado oil?
Avocado oil is great. In fact, we're going to be talking about avocados in this dish. It's a great fat. It's a good plant-based fat, and it's a good fat to include. Remember, the fats we want to avoid are your arachidonic acid fats that come from grains, that come from seed oils like corn oil, soybean oil, things like that. So the flavor palette for the chicken today is going to be Mexican. It's going to be a Mexican flavor. So what I did is I made a Mexican spice rub. All right, cumin, garlic powder, oregano, paprika, chili powder, a little bit of heat, a little bit of cayenne. Just sprinkle that, salt and pepper. Just sprinkle that over the top. So that's already pre-made. So it's going to give us that Mexican type of flavor. We're going to let that kind of heat up a little bit. Then we'll stir it around. If you keep moving the meat, it doesn't get a chance to really get that little bit of a sear and to seal in the juices. So let it get the juices sealed in a little bit. And then to get those spices around all of it, we're just going to deglaze the pan with a little bit of white wine. So that'll help give it a nice body, but at the same time, it'll get the spices all over. So that's starting to fire up nicely. So now we're just going to flip it over. Now, in our previous show, we talked about chicken. Not all chicken's the same. You need to get a chicken that is raised appropriately, meaning they're allowed to walk around, they get some activity, because if they're in closed pens all the time, the chickens don't get a chance to develop any mobility or strength in their legs. Broiler chickens are meant to mature in 6 to 8 weeks, and if they stand in the same place or if their legs get super weak, what happens is they end up standing in their own feces all day long. So you got to look at if the chickens are allowed to be free range, and you also have to look at how they're slaughtered. Ideally, the chicken should set. It should let the meat should hang for several hours. By letting it hang for several hours, it's just like having an aged beef. If you just let it age for a few hours, it won't be so tough. Now, most chicken isn't aged for a few hours. So these are chicken breasts. We sliced them in half. Then I sliced them again on the bias into small pieces so they'll be more tender. If you're concerned about them being even more tender, that might still be tough, pound them. Just pound it, and that'll make it tender. And that's why so many dishes today call for pound flesh. So that's glazing, cooking down nicely. Plenty of spice rub in there. I'm going to let that run a little bit. Now, while that's cooking, we're going to talk about these babies. These we made after the last show because I realized sometimes people want something that's in the vegetarian and vegan, wheat-free, dairy-free. So for those people, we have our coconut blueberry muffins. Coconut flour, coconut oil, eggs, and blueberries. So it's a great, good fat, a lot of fat in here, but we use omega-3 eggs and we use coconut oil. So this is a great snack, on-the-go type of grab-and-go thing. Healthy fats, healthy flour. So on the previous show, we did the same recipe with banana. There's chia seeds and banana. This one is blueberry and chia seeds. So that's a good way to put that together. Meat's almost ready. I'm going to just let it cook. But again, I want to get that spice rub over all the different pieces of meat, and I want to get it symmetrical. So I turned up the heat a little bit, and we're going to add just a touch of white wine. There we go. Now it would create a sauce if we let it, but we're going to let it deglaze. But now all of the meat will be evenly flavored. And these small pieces only take a few minutes. You know, in our house, this would qualify for Taco Tuesday in our house. We can get this on the table in 15 minutes. It really is a quick dish to prepare. So throughout the day, we've been talking about the importance of vegetables. And you need 5 to 7 servings of vegetables a day. We've been talking about staying away from grains because grains have a tendency to be pro-inflammatory because of the arachidonic acid in the grains. And in the United States, wheat, for example, they spray the fields with Roundup so that the whole wheat field matures at the same time and they can harvest the whole field. That's why people have so many gluten sensitivity issues. It's because of the glyphosate that's in the wheat. And GMO wheat is designed to not die with glyphosate. So they can spray Roundup on it all day long. And what does it do? It ends up in our stomach and it creates gluten sensitivity. You know, well, guess what? It may not be the gluten, it may be the glyphosate. So to avoid that, you got to get an organically raised wheat, and preferably, if you can find it, non-GMO. Try to get your wheat from Europe. In Europe, they don't have GMOs, and they aren't allowed to use glyphosate. That's why when people go to Europe, they can eat the bread, and they can eat the pasta, and it doesn't bother their stomach, because the food's fresh. It's not preserved. It's not surrounded with junk. So, the meat's done. It's got a little bit of a glaze to it now, a little white wine reduction, and the Mexican seasonings with everything. So traditionally, we would take something like this and put it on a taco shell, right? Maybe some red cabbage. Why red cabbage? Red cabbage is really high in anthocyanidins, antioxidants. Get in as much red cabbage in your diet as you can. It really helps boost your immune system, these colored foods. Blueberries, red cabbage, carrots, things with lots of color are really good. On top of that, we're going to put a mango salsa on that. Now, this is for my psoriasis patients, is a mango salsa that is pepper-free. So it's got carrots, shallots, mango, and that white is hemp hearts. Why did I put hemp hearts in there? Because hemp hearts are high in omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids are anti-inflammatory, a great source of nutrients, a good fat that reduces inflammation. You want to go for the full boat ride? You can put a little bit of avocado in there as well. Again, The question we got just a moment ago online, avocado's a good fat. And then if you really want to go with the full tilt Mexican approach, we'll give you a little wedge of lime for it. But guess what? There's still a corn tortilla out there. So there is some corn, but it's not fried. It's not one of those fried tortillas, all right? So it's not as bad as the fried ones. It's just a pounded tortilla. So you can use a small tortilla. But let's say you really want to embrace an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Well, what about taking something as simple as endive? A couple of endive leaves. You can do the same thing. Put your chicken in there. Now, this is great if you're making little dessert or little pickups for an appetizer. Mango. Put with it whatever you want. Some avocado. If you don't like avocado, don't use the avocado. But here you go. You have your taco, so to speak, with an avocado shell. I just told you how good and how important red cabbage is for you. If you cut the top off the red cabbage, it gives you these great little circles. So you got a taco shell. What are we going to fill it with? Today we're using meat. Could this be a vegetarian? Could this be a portobello mushroom sliced up and cooked the same way with the same seasoning to have a vegetarian Mexican dish? Yes. But I'm getting my vegetables in here. So I'm going to go with avocado with this one and mango salsa with this one. Are these the only dressings? No, you can use whatever you want. But what I want you to realize is that we're going to save these for later, Mom. I'm not going to have my muffins for before. I'm going to have them later. But maybe you don't like red cabbage. Well, what about Bib lettuce? You do the same thing with Bib lettuce. I think you get the picture. All right. Now, can these also be made ahead of time? They sure can. You can meal prep this and make it ahead of time, and then you can keep it in a container and bring it to work with you and serve it room temperature. I'm not personally a big fan of microwaves, but if that doesn't bother you, then that's okay. And there you go. No avocado on this one. I think I'll just go with mango salsa. All right. And here's another option for you, Bib lettuce. But I don't like Bib lettuce. All right. You can use romaine lettuce. That's not a good leaf. Let's use this. There we go. And if you get romaine lettuce that's organic, you're going to notice it's a lot firmer. It just is a lot stiffer and a lot firmer. So we can put it right in through there, and we get our meat. So you can see how this taco Mexican chicken can go in so many different layers. You can still eat it with your hands, or you can just make a simple salad out of it as well, which is going to be our last thing we're going to do. And there we go.
Put that. Got another question coming in. Someone was asking about the red cabbage. When you cook it, does it lose any of its nutritional values?
Yes, it does. Is it still good for you? It is good for you, but some of those antioxidants do break down. So get some good knife skills and cut it really thinly. However, remember, what's coleslaw? Coleslaw is just pickled cabbage, right? So you can also pickle it, and then it becomes fermented, almost like a sauerkraut. That's really good for you because now you have the probiotics. So you may lose some, if you cook it, you may lose some of the antioxidants, but you can pick it up on the other end if it's fermented. But you know something? If you need to eat your borscht because you want to have it cooked and you're not going to eat it raw, that's okay. Your mother was right. Eat your vegetables, all right? That's what's most important. 5 to 7 serving of vegetables a day. And if you really want to go over the top, guess what? You take your endive, get a few pieces of endive. I love endive. Sometimes I'll just eat endive and avocado. Just endive and avocado. I'll go over to the store at lunchtime. If I can find a ripe avocado, I'll eat a whole avocado and like 2 endives just like that. It is a great pairing. But let's take some endive. Just slice it up or break it up. You can do this ahead of time, or you can do it as needed. We'll take some Bib lettuce. We'll take some romaine lettuce. We'll just kind of break it up, just hand tear it. And I think everybody can get an idea where we're going with this, right? Just a hand tear it. We're going to give it a little hand toss. Now, if anybody who remembers Anna Marie Alberghetti would say, gently tear the lettuce to create little pieces. And then you can pour your salad dressing on it. So you put that over the top. And then you take your chicken. And that little bit of condensed sauce from your deglazing, and then a pinch of that. If you really want to go on the Mexican vein, you can pull a little bit of cilantro out. Not that much, just a little bit. Chop up a little bit of cilantro on the top, and then you're good to go. So is this the only way you can have Mexican chicken? Well, I don't know. I gave you Mexican chicken with Bib lettuce, or with romaine lettuce, or with endive, or with a classic corn tortilla that's not fried, okay, not a fried tortilla. Or what about on a red cabbage leaf? That would be good too. Or maybe just Mexican chicken on a bed of greens with some red cabbage. Gets the extra color in there. That's really, really important. So what have we learned today? You know something? I love avocado. This is a good fat. So we're going to even put a piece of avocado in there too. Why not? Why not? If they can add avocado on your lunch and on your sandwich at the restaurant, we can do it at home too. So a nice little treat for you. Remember to add all the different colored foods into your diet. Add more vegetables. When you have your protein, serving size about the size of your fist, and just add different flavors, and you'll be amazed at how much better you feel. Stay away from the white sugar. Stay away from the white flour. And remember, you are what not only you eat, but what your food eats. So read your labels. Look at your ingredients. Where's your food sourced from? Those are all really important things to consider when you want to get to a dietary lifestyle that's going to improve or sustain your health. Because there's a lot of pesticides out there, there's a lot of preservatives out there. Just staying away from those types of things alone can make a huge impact in your health. But what will definitely impact your health is eating lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, lean protein. We know that. An anti-inflammatory diet will reduce your genetic expression for disease. And that's what this series has been about. It's about eating foods that are tasty, foods that you can enjoy. They might be a little different for you. They may not be. But it's all a way that you can empower yourself to make choices that are consistent with healthy aging. And if you're an athlete, with excellent sports performance. Because if you don't fuel the body, how are you going to perform? And not all carbs are created equal when it comes to athletics. But that's the topic of another show, so stay tuned for that. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio. Thank you for tuning into our series today on healthy eating for the holidays. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming to my office, going on location. It's been a real treat. I want to give my live audience, give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. All right, we appreciate everybody coming out, especially a Friday night on Black Friday. And yeah, we're always a phone call away. Remember to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the series. Have a great day.